All right, in this lesson we're going to talk about how to develop endurance. Now, if you haven't already watched the speed video, I definitely recommend checking that one out because a lot of the same techniques can be used in how to develop endurance. You're just going to play them for a lot longer period of time. Endurance is something that all drummers need to work on. I mean, you can never have enough endurance. I've seen drummers play, for example, I was at a Dragon Force concert, and it was about a good hour-and-a-half concert, and the drummer was just, I think it's David McKenzie or David McIntosh. Anyway, he was playing for the whole set, 200 beats per minute. I think he was doing heel-toe technique or double strokes, but he had some crazy endurance. So I think any drummer and every drummer should be practicing their endurance. So it's something to definitely practice. And I'm going to give you some examples on how to do that in this video lesson. So if you haven't already, make sure you download the progress chart. Print it off and use it, because what it's going to do is it's going to help keep you in tune with what you're doing. It's going to show how you're improving and your progress. And that's really important. I mean, if you see that you're progressing doing certain exercises faster than the other ones, then you know that those ones work better for you. So in the previous lesson, how to develop speed, I was showing how you would mention and mark down the tempo you're playing at and how many bars or repetitions you did. That was for developing your speed. On developing endurance, you're going to mark down the tempo you're playing at, and then you're going to mark down how long in minutes or seconds that you're playing that for. And this one is something that you're not going to keep trying to increase the tempo. You're not going to keep bumping it up 5 beats per minute. You're going to try and increase the time that you do. And what I like to do is I like to start at 30 seconds and a minute. So try a certain tempo, play it for 30 seconds straight. If that's easy, go up to a minute. And try and keep the same tempo with the same energy and the same power with your sticks and feet. Now, once you've done that, mark it down and try to increase it by maybe even 10 seconds at a time. What you want to do is you want to build your muscles so you can play for longer periods of time. Now, any one of these exercises that you've already seen me play, Jared play, Sean play, any one of those will work. You're developing endurance. It's nothing in particular. What I like to do personally is just a single stroke roll over top of a beat. So if it's 16 notes, if it's 8 notes, if it's 8-note triplets, whatever it is, I'll pick a tempo and I'll set my metronome, whether it's your phone, whether it's a clock, whatever it is, as long as you have some sort of way of timing yourself, set that and just play. Try to get a minute. Try to get a minute and a half, all the way up to 5 minutes if you can. And just keep building and building and building from there. So what you're going to notice after playing for a minute or minute and a half, you might start getting this burning sensation in your shins and in your legs. Now, this is not a bad thing. This is just your muscles overdoing themselves. And it's just like when you go to a gym and you're lifting weights and you start getting some burning in your biceps or whatever. That is good. That just means your muscles are working and they're stretching and they're tearing. And what that does is it helps build them. And that's what we're doing when we're practicing endurance. We're going to play until we can't play anymore. So when you start feeling that burn, just keep going. Fight it out for as long as you can. When you stop, mark the time. Try it again in a few minutes. Give your muscles a chance to rest. Get the blood flowing back in there. Maybe stretch a bit and do it again. So I'm going to show you an example of a 16-note beat, something that I like to practice when I'm practicing my endurance. It's going to be on the ride cymbal, the snare, and the double bass. And I'm going to go for 1 minute. Now, before I do this, there's one really important thing to remember. Don't tense up. When drummers are at the point of, oh, I can't play anymore, they seem to tense up. They grip their sticks tighter, their shoulders tense up like this. And what that does is that creates a lot of extra tension all over your body. When you're drumming, you want to try and be as relaxed as possible. It keeps you healthier, it keeps you on the drums longer, it allows you for longer practice sessions. So just keep that in mind. And when your muscles do start to burn, try and relax a bit. And just remember that it's almost done. Go as long as you can and mark down your progress. Here we go. So there you go. There's 1 minute, just over a minute, I think, at 150 beats per minute. Now, you don't want to go too fast because you'll notice that once you get to the 45-second mark that you're going to really start feeling some burn in there. So practice this. I mean, keep extending it. Try and go a little bit faster for longer periods. This is practicing endurance, not speed. So don't worry about too much how fast you're going rather than how long you can go. For timing, I just use my iPhone. You can use a stopwatch. You can use a clock, anything that you can find, as long as it's accurate. And then make sure you chart it down in the progress guide.